Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of the Kraken full kit turbo install. Sorry it took me a while to get the second video up, but I wanted to make sure I did it right, because quite frankly I put the first video up and then immediately noticed that I did several things wrong. So I wanted to make sure that I had the car running and I had the car working and it didn't die on me and it didn't blow up and nothing crazy happened. So I can say now that there is about 200 miles on this car. It's done a few things that I've had to correct, and I'm still working on some more issues, but I think we're over the battle here, so time to go into it. I don't know if you saw the last video, part 1, but basically in part 1 I figured out that I had the turbo on the wrong side, pointed the wrong direction, so that's important. And I also did a fun thing where I put the drain for the turbo oil right where the engine mount goes. Put this nice little drain here for my oil for the turbo. But guess where the mount goes? So if you watched the previous video, don't put it there. Figure it out on your own. It works around there. It needs to go farther towards the front of the engine. Let's put it that way. So let's just go over the completed and working build, and hopefully I can show you all the isms that I screwed up pretty badly the first time around. So fun fact, I did not know this. So oil bearing turbos that have coolant and everything like that, the oil feed line always comes in the top. The oil feed always comes in the top. The oil drain always goes out the bottom. It didn't come that way, and I found that out whenever I took the car to the tuner, and the tuner said, you're going to cook your turbo if you don't turn that. And the reason is the oil just sits in there if it doesn't have anywhere to drain, and it will burn out the ring, the seals and everything, and it'll get screwed. So yeah, do that. Make sure you clock the turbo so the oil feed point is up at the top, pointing down, go straight through, fall straight through. So other fun fact, as I mentioned before, is the oil drain needs to be at the front of the pan, not the back of the pan. I thought I was putting it at the back of the pan to get it out of the way of things. Turns out that's right where the oil mount goes. So there's a nice little video I've got to show that. That's fun. Other things that I figured out in general, some of the feed lines I had to reroute because they weren't quite set up properly, and they were kind of twisted a little bit weird. So I can show you a little bit further about where everything has been set up. I think those are the two biggest screw ups that I had putting this thing together. I've been dealing with many other problems while I've been putting this thing together as well. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot going on here now. So I had to upgrade the coil packs and everything because it just wasn't going to reach the spark I needed. It's now in sequential. It's not wasted spark anymore, so that's cool. I had to do a whole lot when it comes to breathers on the exhaust side, and even this is not working. You can see there's oil all over the freaking place. Tried to commit suicide on me. So I still need to work on that. There's another YouTube video out there, maybe I'll link to that at the end of this video or down at the bottom, where I say where I started to follow the instructions. But I did about 3/4 of it, and it seems to work well. But fun fact, it's still pushing spark plugs out the top, and it unscrews this and shoots it off. So fun stuff. But at least I'm no longer spraying oil out the top there, so that's cool. There's still some more I'm going to do here, but let's get down to the nitty-gritty of where things are routed. As you can see here, the turbo is properly clocked. The oil line is coming in from the oil feed all the way over here. I teed off of the pressure regulator over there. The 93s and below have a oil line right back there, which is really freaking cool. But actually the 94s do as well. But the fun fact is that this is a 99 block, not a 94 block, so had some unfortunate things. That passage is blocked off. It just appears as a blank fucking slate. So anyways, I teed off the oil line over there. The oil line comes back around here, wraps back around away from the exhaust, and comes back over here. The water lines, this is the water exit. I don't think it really matters the direction of the water lines as long as the oil is going down. But there's a water line T here. It's at the front of your normal, whatever the hell this thing is. And I think before it used to go straight down here to this little bypass bleeder. From there's I don't know if you can see it down there, but it comes right off of the water pump. Right off of the water pump, there's this hose that comes straight up and used to go straight into here to help feed water at the front or something. But anyways, so I changed it so that it goes up and into the turbo and then out and then back to where it was before. So no real differences here. So just bypassed and put that in. What other stuff? The boost controller is down here. It's built into this turbo in particular. And the wiring for it kind of comes into this harness and then goes back to the Megasquirt. I didn't pull any power from around here. It goes way, way, way back. And I also didn't do any wiring where I reused any of the existing stuff. Don't know if I'd do that again, but you know, either way. What else do we have over here? We have some heat shielding that was necessary because your water heater lines are going to get cooked otherwise. I am planning on changing this, so this is going to be rotated over here and hopefully draw air in from the front here. That is loose. That's fun. As far as the intercooler goes, so the piping comes straight down from here, and this is the Kraken kit, of course. So it comes down underneath here to the intercooler. The intercooler then comes across the front here, and then comes back over and up here into the intake side. I have something to talk about with this, so I'll switch over to that side. But let me make sure I've got everything over here kind of documented and figured out. There we go. I think we're good. Yeah. So this thing, again, it sucks. I don't know if you just saw that, but I can push my my spark plugs down because they keep getting shot up. There's just too much pressure in this block at 23.5 psi of boost. So, all right, let me move over to the other side to show you more stuff. So you can't entirely see here, but this was a real problem right here. The Kraken kit didn't come with the couplings that really fit very well here. In fact, it ran into this Mishimoto radiator pretty badly that I actually underneath here had to cut the radiator from having this nip. The little stand used to go all to there, and I had to cut it back to there. And then I also had to get this little elbow here. I think that didn't come with the kit. I think I had to buy that specifically for this because there was just no way it was going to work. So this little 90-degree elbow, I just got at Flying Miata. That helped out a lot because I have the Super Miata coolant reroute here, and that was necessary to pull that hose off to the side there. Other thing I had to do is you can see the idle air valve down here. This did come, this whole hose came with the kit here, this set of hoses, but I did have to cut this one back as well. So I had to, it was like that long, I had to cut it back to there so that I could get more room in here. And the same thing with this big elbow as well. It did used to go like way over here, and so it had high interference up here. And so I had to cut it back quite a bit for it to fit. So that was a big gotcha there. Underneath, I don't think I had too much problem with that. I was actually rather surprised how well it fit in there. It just screws into the front mount intercooler. Literally screws into your tow hooks. So where your tow hooks are in the front, it just replaces one of the bolts and screws right in. It came with it and everything. No instructions, but that's where it goes. It just poof, right up in there. So that was cool. As I said before, these oil catch cans, I wouldn't recommend them. I mean, it does seem to be doing a plenty fine job on the intake side. The exhaust side, man, you got to go to something way bigger than this. This is still blowing air and blowing everything everywhere. So it's a bit of a mess. Let's see other things. As far as fuel goes, I mean, there wasn't anything regarding fuel with the kit, but I'm running 1050X injectors now. I did have a hell of a problem getting them to seal, so I would suggest that you throw away the seals that come with the injectors and instead just go buy a bunch of stock seals, because the regular injector seals that come with it are like super thin, and the stock ones are super thick. So I kept having problems getting the injectors to seal, and then I just went with the stock ones, and they worked out just fine. So, yay, fun stuff. Other stuff, the wiring. I mean, it's honestly not too bad to get this and then re-hook it up into sequential. Really not that bad. I did have a problem with fuel pressure, so I have a fuel pressure gauge on here. It's not doing much for me. I did also run a 10 AN or 6 or 8 AN, whatever, new fuel line back to the new fuel pump, and I also had to put in the flying Miata, what is it, the fuel relay, the new fuel relay. I don't know if that was overkill. It was probably overkill, but it better overkill than not. You can see here's the lines here, and my brilliant job at fastening everything. So I have the Mishimoto radiator, whatever. I have this radiator, and I had the shroud and fans that came with it because I bought the whole thing super cheap. But apparently the community really hates the fans that come with the Mishimoto. So anyways, I decided to change them up, and so people told me to go get these Spall fans. And there's a 10-inch one that supposedly fits on the current fan shroud. But I needed all the space I could get here to avoid interference, so I went with the 12-inch ones, and they're just zip tied straight to the radiator itself. So that way I've got as much room I can get here. So one other thing I want to mention here is gauges. Now I'm running the Megasquirt 3 Pro plug and play, whatever the really expensive one unfortunately is. And one of the benefits of it is that I don't have to run too many gauges. So I have here an Android base, a Toto, whatever deck. And back here, you can see the Megasquirt has a serial cable back behind here to it. And I just have like a standard USB serial, and I have it plugged in here, back here. And there's two applications you can use. One is called MS Droid, and the other is called Real Dash. You have to use Android, unfortunately. There supposedly is a way to use one of these OBD links. I love these things. These things are freaking great. But I couldn't get it to work because it's not actually OBD. This is CAN, raw CAN. Supposedly these things can do raw CAN messaging, and I should know because I develop off of this for work. And I know it can do it, but I don't know if the app can figure it out. Probably a way to do it, but you know what? It's better just to hard code it. So MS Droid or Real Dash. With MS Droid, you can literally go in here and select your Megasquirt, connect it up, and you get all your gauges. You can plan them out and you can do all that stuff. The same thing with Real Dash. Real Dash is a lot fancier, if you really want to call it that. I mean, it's got a whole shitload of other gauges. I haven't had a chance to get it all figured out, but I do know it's reading boost properly, so that's great. So to. Got my nice little spinners and my AFR gauge right here, which is a mirror of this one. So cool stuff. That's how I'm doing gauges. That way I don't have to keep ad-free all this stuff up and about, and I can do things like a knock gauge, or I can do my boost gauge and some other stuff. I'd probably even get rid of this one if I could, but I chose the Innovate one that has the gauge. There's an Innovate AFR kit that doesn't come with it, that doesn't have a gauge, but it's basically the same damn price as the gauge. So, oh whatever, spinning numbers, cool. All right, guys, that's it. Send me a like or a comment if you have any questions. The turbo kit is installed and it's working. Stay tuned next time for when we do dyno numbers.